Hey everybody, wanted to do a video on just getting certifications for automotive technicians. And this can actually go into the heavy duty truck technician too. Um, there are several different types of certifications out there. There's dealer certifications, there's certificates. There are, well, one of the big ones that are nationally recognized is the ASE certification. And I want to talk a little bit about that also. The bit, the the path you go when it comes into your career in the automotive field is where you're going to want to get your certifications. I highly recommend, and this is coming from experience too, that you get your associate's degree. And I'm not just saying that from the education standpoint, to kind of promote going to college, but I'm actually talking about experience wise in my career. If I hadn't went ahead and got my associate's degree, I would not be teaching today. There are certain requirements for different areas of your life. We have talked to quite a few of our industry partners, and they are highly recommend that you, as a student, uh, get your ASCs and also get your associate's degree. So associate's degree is the thing that really is important about that part is if you're trying to get into a dealership, sometimes they will want an associate's degree because that shows you have some writing, your math skills, and kind of your soft skills, and that's what I'm trying to get at. The and if you want to progress up the chain, and I know a few municipalities, you have to have a bachelor's degree to get into management positions. So I would plan out my career now and see what way you want to go. Now, granted, at times life gives you a curveball and you have to adapt to it, and don't be afraid to adapt to it too. It's my life's thrown me a few curveballs along the way also. But let's talk a little bit about the kind of a general, also one of the uh, you know, certifications that you can get that is nationally well recognized, and that's the ASE, which is the Automotive Service Excellence. I happen to have quite a few of them myself, and it is an important for a lot of shops. Let's put it that way. Some shops don't care about it, but if you want to, and I'm not putting down other shops, but if you want to get into more of the upper end shops, a lot of times they're going to ask you, do you have any ASCs? And this is where I really want you to kind of focus on. And when you're taking your classes, make sure that you're focusing on, as far as the automotive classes go, focus on getting that ASC for that. What kind of correlates with that class. So let's say, for instance, you're taking suspension and steering. Okay, if you're taking suspension and steering, you should be really focusing on that ASC, and that is way that we teach it here at the college. We go under the ASC guidelines, and we go through what used to be called an ATAP certification, but now it's called the automotive. I'm sorry, Automotive Service of Excellence Foundation. So Education Foundation. I forgot to put the education there, but that is what we're really focusing on. And there's certain guidelines that they go by. And every 5 years we come in for due for an inspection. And this inspection they go over all of our books. They go to see if we're actually teaching in the guidelines that they're required, and that's why a lot of your classes you're going to have the task sheets, these sheets that we fill out that are pretty much standard to the ASE way of doing things. Not saying we have to use those sheets, but it is better that we cover all the bases. And I know some of the task sheets are repetitive and you're doing them every semester, but please do what your instructor asks you to do, and as far as your task sheets and the labs that you do also. All right. Um, the other thing too is you can possibly get dealer certification. Some dealerships have an active certification program for them, and that is pretty much focused on their product, which whatever make model that they're actually you are going to be working on, and in getting training on the spot, or going to specific schools for that specific model is great, because then you get the real world training in that area that you'll be working on day in and day out. Myself personally, I like working on everything, and that's why I really never worked at a dealership. And I'll talk more about careers in my next video. All right, so let's go over to the ASE website, and I wanted to show you the actual different types of certifications you can actually get yourself into. And these are different ones, and like I said before, I happen to be certified in my ASEs and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead first. I'm going to kind of set this up. So we're going to go ahead and share a screen, and this is the main ASE website. So this website, there's different ways of getting certified. Now, for recertification, they have a renewal process where you can actually just take tests, as it comes along, and you can actually take tests and keep your certification going instead of having to go to a specific test center and taking those tests in front of a computer. You can actually just do it from your cell phone, which is kind of a cool little thing. Myself personally, I like to go to the test centers and take my tests there, and I'm getting due for one of my tests very, very soon. I'm going to go ahead and sign in to the website right now, and this is my particular. Almost did a boo-boo there. All right, so this is where I'm at right now. I do have to retake during the COVID. My automotive transmission one expired, but that should be no problem for me at all. And then you see, so I'll be back in the master status on the automotive. And then there's the master and the medium heavy duty, and then there's the master and the transit bus type stuff. I also have the maintenance one also, which is the G1, which is a great way to start off. This is one of the general type tests for people just getting into the industry. This would be maybe a good one for you. After you've taken some classes, go in there and take a general type technician's certification, which they call the maintenance and light repair technician. And again, I want you to focus on what you need, and let's put it that way. What you need to get in the next career, and maybe even to up yourself in the job that you're at right now. Some shops will give you a raise if you take an ASE certification, and that's how I actually started taking ASE certifications. I had a boss that was giving raises for each ASE that you actually took and passed. You bring in a certificate saying that you passed, and at that time it was like not a big dollar amount to today's time. I want to say it was a $5 a week raise, which is probably not a big thing now, but back then it was a big thing. So at that time, there was actually 8 auto and 6 truck certifications. So this is your medium heavy duty truck. And I said, okay. So I decided to get greedy. And at that time, you had to take your tests at a location, and it was proctored, and it was a regular fill in the bubbles kind of Scantron type thing. And so I went out, and you were only allowed 4 tests one night and 4 tests the other night. So it was a Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesday night I went up there and I took 4 tests. I was there for almost a complete time that we were allowed. And on Thursday night I was really, really tired, and I was there until the complete of that night too. And it took at that time, you would get your test results in about 2 months, because they had to take all the tests, because they were at different locations taking them on the same night. They would grade them through a Scantron machine, and then you would get your results in about 2 months. And then your certificate, if you passed, you would get another. You would actually get your certificate in another month. So, for some of us that were kind of relying on those tests to be done and to pass, it took a little bit of time. Nowadays, you go to a test center, which is all on computer, and it's proctored also in please, when you go to one of those test sites, don't bring a lot with you. Become very light. You'll need to know you need to have your admission ticket. You'll also need to have your driver's license. And I would just bring a few bucks with me, my license, my admission ticket, and my keys to my car. I wouldn't bring much more than that, because you'll have to lock anything you bring with you in a small locker. So if you are having to unload all your pockets with all kinds of stuff in them, you bring a handbag or something that with you, books and stuff like that, you're going to have to put it all away, because they will not allow you to bring anything into the test center. So after you take your test, and a lot of times within a day, within 24 hours, I've seen it where it's the hour later after you've taken the test that you've already got your test results, so you can go, woohoo, I passed, like that. Or, ooh, I got to study a little bit more. And usually they give you a kind of a report card, you might say. And it doesn't tell you what questions you missed. It only tells you what area. And that's the way it's been for quite a long time. For now, it's been for the last couple of years that way. So it's to me, it's a lot quicker. And some technicians, especially when it goes in smog, they're waiting on some of their certifications to keep the smog license up to date. So it's important that they have it as quick as possible, which is the great thing about computers. Now, some of the things on the website I wanted to kind of point out too is if you haven't registered for the ASE website, on the front page that I blew by there a few minutes ago, you can go right into the register button, and you can actually register for an ASE right now portion of this website itself. So it's dedicated to you. I like it the way they have it, because it gives you a lot of information. I can go into my test results and see what I've passed, what I failed, and I can actually go in to different parts of it. And if you get one of these certifications, whether it be a technician or whatever, you can actually order patches. You can order whatever patches that you want, the quantity you want. Maybe you want them for all your different uniforms. You can do that too. So these are all great things that you can do with the ASE website. The other thing I wanted to point out is the appointments. If you want to take an ASE test, and you can take it at any time. Now, one of the requirements to be certified is you have to have 2 years of experience. They'll take 1 year, 2 years of college for 1 year of experience, but you have to have that other year of experience. I myself, I had plenty of years of experience by the time I was going there. So if you want to go ahead and take an ASE test, which you have to do, you can't just renew it, because you have to have something to base it on. So you go into to make appointments, and right here you can go right into the store, so to purchase tests, and you hit on that button, and then you just pick what tests you want to take. Now, there is a maximum on your recertification test of how much they'll charge you. But if you take just a regular test, all mine are recertifications, it looks like, you can actually go into like auto, and it may not let me because I've already been certified before. But you'll see instead of R at the end, it'll actually say A1. And then it'll say engine repair certification. And mine will only be 25 questions, which yours is going to be a little bit more on the first time out. And you can see all the different areas that you can actually take your certifications in. Everything from auto, going to collision, which is your body work and stuff like that, collision estimators, service and consultants, truck equipment, alternate fuels, then that G1, the G1 that I showed you a few minutes ago, and then transit buses, advanced level, military. Okay, so here again, you have some military stuff here, and if you've been in the military, you can actually get some of the credit for it too. Parts specialists, school bus, the medium heavy duty truck, and then in the specialty area, and then ASE, you can actually get some practice test vouchers. So this is some of the tests that you can actually sign up for. Now, if you sign up for a test, it's going to take you to another website, and that website is going to be the one that actually signed you. It's not under ASE. It's actually its own entity, and then you can pick out what test sites you want to go to. And usually, if you plug in your zip code, they're going to give you a lot of possibilities of where you can take the actual test at, and it's usually not too far from where you live. So that makes it really nice. This is something that I highly recommend as you go along through college and through your career, that you get these certifications. They may not show that you hands-on wise what you're doing is what you're doing, but it does tell people that you have a knowledge base. And ASE is very pro, of course, pro ASE certifications, and a lot of my customers in the past have wanted people that are ASE certified. So this is something that I'm like I said before, I highly recommend that you do as you go along. You maybe want to pick up one certification at a time. I wouldn't go all crazy like I did. I actually passed 6 of the 8 on my first time out, and I had to in the fall, because I took it in the spring. In the fall, I had to go to another place to take another pencil test. So now with ASE, you have to, if you fail a test, you have to wait like a month, and then you can actually register to take the test again. And this is a good practice for you too. Don't be afraid of failing one of the ASE tests. Nobody sends a letter to your boss or anybody but you, and usually it's an email saying, "Hey, you passed," or you didn't do so well. Hopefully this information was helpful. I'm going to get out of the ASE website right now. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, but I do want to conclude this with there are some parts houses too that every once in a while they'll actually have a seminar type training, and they may have a certificate at the end of it, or they'll mail you a certificate later on. Those are great to collect too. Those are great to put into your resume. At Santa Ana College, we actually have that SB2 that actually has a bunch of certificates you can get with your actually instructor, and he can actually let you into the site. I normally let my students into the site so they can actually gather these certificates through the semester. And there's quite a few. SB2 used to only be like 3 certificates, and that's it. Now you can gain for lifting up the vehicle and taking some training on that also. So also at Santa Ana College, you can go for an associate's degree, or you can actually go for a certificate. And depending on what classes you take, you can gather enough classes to actually get yourself into a certificate. I recommend, and this is just me speaking to you, that you gather the certificates and also the associate's degree at the same time, because you're doing the same work. And this would be really beneficial to you as you go along. All right. Like I said, I hope this has been helpful for you. Um, if you have any more questions, you know how to get a hold of me. You can email me or text me. You can leave a comment down below if you like this, and let me know. The on this YouTube thing, you hit the like button. That tells me you like this kind of content, and I'll continue to build more of it. The next one I will be actually doing next is going to be talking about careers, and I'm only going to be bringing that information out of my past, and this may not be the same avenue you're going, but this is the way I actually came into the field. Okay, so like I said, hopefully it's beneficial, and I will be seeing you in class. All right, bye for now.